Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
After an 88-degree high today, tomorrow will be our hottest of the season. We'll see how it's going to feel in your 4-zone forecast.
A police standoff with a family caught in the middle.
And I thought it was a prank, so I refused to come. And that's why they kept telling me, if you're not going to come out, then we're going to come in and get you.
Yeah, mother says she was caught off guard when police officers in Highland Park showed up to her home with guns drawn.
Officers told her a gunman was barricaded upstairs and that she needed to get her young children to safety. Jamont Terry is live at Highland Park Police Headquarters. Jamont, thankfully, nobody hurt in all this.
Yes, Kimberly, no shots fired, but scary nevertheless, especially for this mother who heard some rumbling in the vacant duplex right above her. She was wondering what was going on. It quickly became clear when police banged at the front door.
No one wants to see children get shielded from potential gunfire. But when Highland Park officers knocked at Jessica Alt's door, she didn't understand the danger surrounding her.
I'm like, whatever it is, it's a prank. I'm telling them to leave. I'm like,
at what point did you understand the severity?
Because they had took my kids.
Sky 4 shows officers carrying Jessica's 10 and 8-year-old daughters from the duplex. Officers quickly rushed the girls into an SUV. At that moment, Jessica let the officers know she had a 2-month-old sleeping inside.
I gotta get my baby.
You can see Jessica bring the baby out in the carrier, escorted by armed officers. And it turns out Jessica did not know why officers wanted her out of the house until she was safe.
They didn't tell me nothing. They waited till I got in the cop car to tell me that that it was a man in the house with a gun. And I'm like, oh my God, well, just thank God that I got out.
The attention then focused on the gunman upstairs who was spotted on the block waving that weapon.
We used our loudspeaker to try to get him and anybody else that might have been in there to evacuate, and no one ever came out.
More than an hour went by before the man finally surrendered. He exited the back door where officers tackled him. We captured officers arresting him in the front yard where they took him into custody. And while the threat was over, it left Jessica and her girls petrified in their home.
I'm just glad that everything was taken care of and that he's apprehended.
And tonight, Highland Park police would only say the man arrested was someone from the neighborhood, but we do know he did not live on Jessica's block. No idea still tonight why he was in the neighborhood waving that gun up and down the street. As for Jessica, interesting enough, she just moved into that duplex 2 weeks ago. Tonight, she's looking to break her lease. Reporting live in Highland Park, Jamont Terry, Local 4.
All right, Jamont, what happened to the 5-year-old girl found dead at a Redford motel and her 3-year-old brother is no longer a mystery. Both her mother and her mother's boyfriend are charged with murder, and tonight detectives are sharing more of what they found. Mara McDonald is live tonight in Redford Township. Mara, when police got to that motel Tuesday, it was already too late.
It was, Devin. She had no pulse, although a Redford Township police officer desperately tried to revive her here using CPR.
What these children endured behind closed doors in this motel is detailed by the detective as he explains all the injuries on their bodies. First, 5-year-old Lyric, who was already dead when police got on the scene Tuesday.
Examination at that time showed multiple bruises on her back, legs, and head. External vaginal tearing was also noted.
Also inside that Redford motel room, her 3-year-old brother, who is now in the care of the state.
Where he was found to have several fractured ribs in different states of healing, multiple bruises and swelling, lacerations and a contusion to his liver, a distended abdomen, and anemia.
The children's mother, Stephanie Jones, wept through her arraignment late this afternoon.
Right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can be...
Her boyfriend, Michael Deshaun Lewis, showed no emotion. Both Lewis and Jones say they're the only two who watch the children, and both admit to what they call disciplining them.
Stephanie stated that she and Lewis had been together for 1 to 2 years and that he watches both kids 5 days a week while she works, and that she and Lewis have domestic incidents 1 to 2 times per week. She also stated that Lewis hits the kids every day with his fists and also uses a belt.
Back here live, the official ruling from the medical examiner's office is that 5-year-old Lyric died from blunt force trauma. They have ruled her death a homicide. Her mother and her mother's boyfriend have both been charged with murder. Neither of them got a bail option today. We're live in Redford Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
It's just so hard to stomach. All right, Mara.
Okay, over here with Ben now, and we could get our first 90-degree day tomorrow, and the muggy weather looks like it's going to stick around too.
I heard that heavy sigh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much, I think, what a lot of us are thinking. Yeah. It's that time, though. The heat is finally here. We're in summer. The 4th of July is just days away. So Mother Nature says, well, here it comes. The good news is those thunderstorms crossing the lake tonight have died out. We're not going to be looking at those. So we're expecting dry conditions overnight. Tomorrow, we're still in that marginal risk for pretty much all of lower Michigan. This is mainly going to be in the afternoon and evening hours. The difference between tomorrow and what we had today is the additional humidity and a couple extra degrees of heat. We were at 88 today. Tomorrow, we're going to 90. We're going to tack on humidity, and those heat index readings are something you're going to want to see. We'll check those out in the 4-zone forecast and your storm chances coming up in a few minutes. Guys?
Ben, now to round 2 tonight in Miami. 10 more Democratic presidential candidates facing off for the first time. Issues tonight ranging from health care to immigration to a heated exchange about race in America. Jay Gray is in Miami with the big takeaways from tonight. Jay.
The first shots in round 2.
Donald Trump thinks Wall Street built America. Ordinary middle-class Americans build America.
Were clearly aimed.
Where was that question when the Republicans and Donald Trump passed a tax bill that benefits the top 1% and the biggest corporations in this country?
At the man currently in the White House.
That Trump is a phony, that Trump is a pathological liar and a racist.
And for the lesser-known candidates, the front runners were also a target.
I was 6 years old when a presidential candidate came to the California Democratic Convention and said, it's time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans. That candidate was then Senator Joe Biden.
I'm still holding on to that torch.
The group at times ignoring the rules.
Probably ought to contribute to the generational conversation.
As part of Joe's generation.
I'm all for
the discourse spinning into a free-for-all.
Hey guys, you know what? America does not want to witness a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on their table. Yes?
Much of the early talk focused on health care and immigration, both issues at the center of the key moment in the debate.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
President Trump quickly responding on Twitter, saying in part, how about taking care of American citizens first? That's the end of that race. But the back and forth through the 2 hours would suggest the race is far from over.
It was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of 2 United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true.
With the high-profile candidates constantly in the crossfire.
We beat them. We won back the Senate.
Thank you. Chuck,
Thank you,
the
Mr.
problem with what the Vice President...
No, yeah, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Sometimes you do have to beat him, but the deal that he talked about with Mitch McConnell was a complete victory for the Tea Party.
The first debates here, framing what looks to be a long and at times fiery campaign season. Jay Gray, Local 4.
Next round of Democratic presidential debates right here in Detroit at the Fox Theater, July 30th and 31st.
The Detroit Board of Commissioners deciding to put on hold the vote to implement facial recognition technology. Critics have raised concerns over potential privacy issues, but Police Chief James Craig remains adamant it will only be used to identify specific suspects after a crime.
And if we can leverage technology to take a violent suspect off the street, we all win. We will absolutely never use it in a random way. We will never use it for purposes of immigration, none of that.
The Board of Police Commissioners says more discussion is needed on how the technology will be used before holding a vote.
Overnight freeway closures on I-75 in Troy are in full effect. Both northbound and southbound lanes of I-75 between Big Beaver and Crooks Road currently closed. That's so that they can install new bridge beams. Drivers encouraged to use Big Beaver and Crooks as detours around it. MDOT plans to reopen that section by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Same stretch of I-75, though, will close again Monday night for more repairs. I-75 is a joy in Oakland County right now, isn't it?
Quite a mess,
Yeah.
right. Still to come, a surprising new study about the effects of social media.
Yep, why researchers say using Facebook is actually good for your mental health.
And a driver attacked with a baseball bat and a tire iron. New video shows the wild scene and the drastic measures the driver had to take to escape.
This week, the local 4 defenders exposed a potentially deadly hazard on our roads. Controversial guardrail with safety concerns used all across Metro Detroit. Defender Karen Drew will be here next with how the state is now responding.